that Yahweh is playing hide and seek with us. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, day number 3 of Double Torah portion Netzavim V, yelech. As we continue in chapter number 29, we read about how that Yah reminds this people through the words of Moshe, saying, "You know how we dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim and how we passed through the nations which you passed through. And you saw their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were with them. Lest there should be among you a man or a woman or clan or tribe whose heart turns away today from Yahweh, our Elohim, to go and serve the mighty ones of these nations. Lest there should be among you a root bearing bitterness or wormwood." It is a spiritual fact that when a people turn away from Yah, that it would seem that Yah hides his face from them. That is, that when they cry out in their calamity, when they cry out under bitterness, it's as if no one is listening. The heavens have become brass. There is no answer, and there's no deliverance. At that point, there's nothing else to do but to cry out, making teshuvah, asking Yah for the ability to turn and to repent and to cease the walk of sin and to begin to walk in righteousness. And so they were reminded, you walked through these lands, you saw the detestable things that they were doing. And unfortunately, we don't have to go through pagan lands. We don't have to go into foreign countries where idolatry is the norm of the day. All we have to do is get out of bed in the morning here in glorious America. So in passing through the lands of exile, such as we are in, there is an idolatrous culture that is all around us. And unfortunately, for many of us, in our hearts and our minds, it's almost unavoidable. By the means of media, by the means of the internet, anything, and I mean anything you want to investigate, anything that you want to absorb the knowledge of by one means or the other, it's available. The worst of the worst of the worst. Nothing is withheld from us. If you can imagine it, you can get involved in it. It's just simply that simple. And so we have a process then by which we began to, shall we say, indulge. That is that something we see, something we hear, something someone else talks about causes us to become curious. Curiosity then leads to investigation. And we hear that little voice inside of our minds that says, well, let's check this out. Let's see about the legitimacy of this. Is it really something to this? And there's all of these justified thoughts that go through our minds saying, investigate. Investigation then begins to look for inspection, where we look then for the validity of these things, whatever the subject is, the matter that you're investigating. And as you inspect, you're acquiring knowledge. Maybe one would become an expert at certain things. Let's take, for example, witchcraft and sorcery. You hear about some activity in your area, and there's a coven of witches somewhere, or there's a cult somewhere. Your curiosity gets stirred. Is it really going on in my area? You start researching. Research is another word for investigation. You're investigating. You're delving into this. Then once you get into a system of knowledge about this, you start inspecting. Well, is it Wicca, or is it witchcraft? Is it white witchcraft? Is it naturalism? Is it worship of Mother Earth? And now we become acquainted with terminologies, and now we're becoming familiar with what's going on. Now we're becoming learned, knowledgeable. Be careful, because the next step is experimentation. Let's just try this and see if it works. It doesn't take much to stir up and open the door to your eye gate. Once your eye gate has been opened up, then your ear gate wants to open up. And then the touch gate wants to open up. It doesn't take long. And if you think standing on this side of this process, that would never happen to me. You see, I'm solid enough. I am learned enough. I pray enough. I'm dependable enough. I've got enough history behind me. I will not fall prey to this. I just want to see. Yah warns us over and again in the Torah, do not investigate the evil. Do not try to learn how these societies and peoples that you're passing through, how they worship their gods. And do not think that you're going to try to worship me that way. But you see, we're too smart for that. We're learned. We've got experience under our belt. And we're part of a congregation, and we keep Shabbat. It won't happen to me. It'll happen to you. It'll happen to me. It'll happen to all of us. If you open the door, do not be surprised as to what comes in. And so Yah gives this warning. Do not flirt with disaster. If you flirt with it, it's going to take you serious. Flirting can be fun until the object of your flirting takes you serious. And then they won't go away. And then they start hounding you. I'm not talking about people here. I'm talking about spirits. But once you turn on the button, once you turn it on, once you open the door, you're granting access. And it's going to be a process to get deliverance to come. So by comparison to whatever it is that you become curious about, investigating in, inspecting about, or even experimenting, the commands of Yah will begin to look dull and old hat because you found some kind of new and exciting thing. Those that have come out of church systems to begin to walk in Hebraic roots, it's novel, it's new. There's a Golden Nugget tour. There's this wonderful investigation that we do, and we find a closeness with Yah. And it's hard to stop the novelty of things. When novelty wears off and you're down to the reality of walking this out, your mind wants another dopamine rush about something that's new and exciting. And so we began to investigate weird doctrines. The next thing you know, we're over into areas that really don't make any difference to us, no real impact on us. There are those who get hung up then about the shape of the earth, or whether there are giants in the land, and what the Nephilim are doing, and then what's the powers of darkness doing, and what's George Soros doing. On and on and on it goes. And we forget about the stability of walking righteously and walking uprightly and being steadfast and founded in the Word. My friend, there is nothing any more exciting than this book when you began to taste and see that He is good. And Yah begins to speak to you from these pages. When you read the Torah and Yeshua stands up, that's the excitement you're looking for. We got to get over our addiction to the novelty rush. Find out that the love and the joy, the shalom of Yah is found in the pages of His Word and in time in His presence. We can get addicted to that. Then we're getting somewhere. More tomorrow. Until then, shalom.